Yep, the first few seconds of your video are where 90% of viewers decide if they love you or if they want to go watch that raccoon lose his cotton candy, which still makes me cry. So if your views are flatlining and the audience is jumping, chances are it's not your thumbnail or your editing, it's your intro. And that's why today I'm gonna give you 9 intros that will actually save your YouTube video. And these aren't just ideas that I came up with, they are tested, proven intro. Let's just get into it. Let's start with the classic. You've seen it, you've definitely clicked on it, and it works because our brains can't stand unanswered questions. Here's an example. I uploaded the same video 3 times, and one of them went viral. Do we know what happened? No. But do we need to? Yes. That's the curiosity hook. The trick is to give just enough information to tease the viewer's brain, like a cliffhanger in a Netflix series. And if your video isn't dramatic, make it dramatic. You didn't just try a new tool, you discovered a hidden gem that no one is talking about. You didn't just upload a video, you risked your channel on a completely new format. Be suspenseful. You gave them enough to pique their interest, but not satisfy it, and now they have to watch. On to number 2. TV shows do this all the time. They throw you right into the action. Kind of like this. It's 2 a.m. I'm staring at my analytics. I've lost 43 subscribers, and I just realized I've made a huge mistake. Boom! No welcome, no intro music, just straight up momentum. This kind of intro works perfect for like story-driven or personal videos, especially when you have a little chaos, a little emotion. A poor life decision can really put the cherry on top. So you start with the drama, then you rewind to explain how you got there. But if you want to hook someone fast, make it about them, not you, okay? Try this. If your videos are stuck under 100 views no matter what you try, this strategy is gonna hurt a little, but in a good way. This instantly tells people who the video's for, what problem it's gonna solve, and that you're not really gonna sugarcoat anything. We love tough love, just avoid being mean. Like, your content sucks and your thumbnails look like that's a little harsh, but your videos aren't the problem, your intros are just putting people to sleep. That kind of hits better because it is kind of your fault, but we're fixing it together, you know? Number 4. This one's for creators that want to get straight to the point and give the viewers a reason to stick around. Here's what it sounds like. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to teach you how to write an intro so good that people actually stay. Bam! You just made a deal with the viewer. You told them exactly what they're gonna get, exactly when they're gonna get it, and why it's worth their time. This works really well if you're solving a specific problem or you're teaching something actionable. Just be honest about what you can deliver. Like, that's all viewers need. A lot of people get caught in the trap of trying to make their education video more like entertaining, and they try to add stakes to it and stuff. And sure, if it's organic, that's fine. If you're like building something and then you hit a snag, you have a problem, like you can turn that into an obstacle and build tension there, and then you solve it, and people were there for that journey. But you don't have to say, I have to build this birdhouse in under 60 seconds. Like, it's just, come on. You know, like, just get to it. Teach me how to build this birdhouse. If people know what they're getting and when they're getting it, they're gonna stick around to get it, I promise. Now, if you want instant attention, you can raise the stakes in ways that make sense. Not for a tutorial, not for the birdhouse video, but more of like a story-driven video. You can make it feel like something big is on the line. For example, if this video doesn't get 10,000 views, I'm quitting YouTube. I'm serious. I'm done. Or maybe, I spent $500 on a thumbnail designer, and if this doesn't work, I'm going back to Canva. You've now created urgency and consequence, and people love watching tension unfold. They want to know, did it work? Will you quit? Was it worth it? Did you die? This intro works best when you have an experiment, a challenge, or a real let's see what happens moment, like a story. And this is huge. A lot of people don't talk about this, but bonus points if you make the stakes emotional. Emotional stakes are huge. They don't always have to be numerical. They don't always have to be in under a time limit. Even the simplest story can have stakes if it has emotion. How I feel is the stake that people can connect to, people can grab onto that. It doesn't have to be a time frame or like these things that I had to get done. It can be, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be devastated. So yeah, Anyway, number 6, give your audience a piece of advice that sounds totally wrong. Some people call this the spiky point of view. It's this contrarian idea that I have to understand where they're coming from. For example, stop asking people to subscribe. Seriously. That sounds inherently incorrect, but if you can back it up with some solid evidence, that's a good video. That's a good intro. The idea is to hit them with like a wait, what? It breaks their mental pattern, and it makes them curious to hear the explanation. Like, where's this coming from? This guy's dumb, but I gotta figure out if he's not dumb. And why does this work? Because you're challenging what they know without being clickbaity. It forces them to listen because they need context. You're just creating the curiosity in a different way. Just make sure this unexpected advice, this spiky point of view, make sure it has a good payoff, because if you're just doing it for shock value, you will not get a return viewer. That's clickbait. Number 7. Sometimes though, and this one's my favorite, you have to stop the scroll visually. I can explain. You don't always need an immediate explanation, or like you don't have to like get your point across as fast as possible. Sometimes an unexpected visual hook is all it takes. Again though, there has to be a payoff. You can't just show your cat in a wig and then it have nothing to do with the video whatsoever. That's not a hook, that's betrayal. You caught my attention with a cat in a wig. I want to see more of that cat in a wig. I want to know why that cat's wearing a wig. I want to know where you got that wig so I can get one for my cat, okay? If you don't mention it again, I'm going to be mad. But yeah, get creative, be bold, use costumes, camera tricks, fast zooms, whatever you think is going to catch whatever you think is going to catch somebody's eye, right? Just make sure you tie it back to your message. Don't be random for the sake of being random. But sometimes all it takes to grab attention is a fact so weird or surprising that people have to stick around to learn more. Did you know that only 6.6% of YouTube channels ever get to 1,000 subscribers? That means 93% of creators never make it to monetization. Let that sit for a second. Imagine putting in all that effort, filming, editing, uploading, overthinking your title and thumbnail and all that stuff, and still being stuck at 200 subscribers after 2 years. Now here's the twist, and it's not because their content is bad, it's because most of that creator's viewers are lost within the first 2 seconds. But this is the kind of stat that grabs people by the ego, because it's not just about making videos better anymore. It's about, am I a part of the 7%, I rounded up, or the 93%? So when you lead with a stat like this, you're not just shocking them, you're handing them a reality check, a little bit of fear, and a reason to keep watching. And then you hit them with, but if you can fix your intro, then blah, 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 blah. Boom. Problem, emotion, solution, a viewer's watching. Now, if there's one thing a brain cannot resist, it's oxygen, but also it's an unanswered question, especially one that feels personal, intriguing, weird, that sort of thing. If you only had 2 seconds to convince somebody to watch your video, what would you say? The best questions tap into a specific curiosity or challenge your assumptions. They invite the viewer to reflect, but then make them want an answer. This kind of hook is perfect if you're about to drop insight or debunk a myth or give advice that isn't quite the norm, and it works in any niche, from gaming to education to personal vlogs. It works. The formula is simple, okay? You ask a question that makes it seem like it's about them, you tie it directly into the value of your video, and bonus points if you hit them with that emotional tension. So think about a question that you'd really want answered. Anything, any hypothetical even, just whatever makes a viewer think, huh, what is the answer to that? You've got them. You win. You win the YouTubes. Now, all this is great in theory, but you want to see it in practice. This video has the visual hook that we talked about, number 7, and it ties immediately into the story. Just, it's good. It's great. I think the visual hook is the whole reason it did so well.